Ukrainian Air Force has struck 2 Russian positions in Russia's Kursk border region with MiG-29 fighter aircraft, Ukrainian telegram channels reported on Saturday. Ukraine's MiG-29 dropped French-made Hammer high-precision bombs at 2 buildings where Russian assault groups and ammunition complex were stationed in Gavo village in Kursk region. The video shared on Telegram showed the moment of the strike and explosion. Along with eastern Ukraine, Russia's Kursk region has been the focus of fierce fighting, with Russian troops seeking to recapture land seized by Ukraine during surprise large-scale incursion last August. Ukraine resumed its attacks on Kursk in March.
North Korean artillery installations have been spotted in Crimea. Russia has probably transferred some of the DPRK troops to the annexed peninsula in order to deploy this contingent in Ukraine, writes ZDF. On March the 26th, a video appeared online showing several North Korean heavy artillery units Koksan. The footage shows that the artillery units are being transported by rail to the northern part of Crimea. These guns played an important role in the Russian offensive in the Kursk region due to their large radius of destruction. According to the publication, Ukraine destroyed 5 Koksan guns with the help of drones, but Pyongyang handed over at least 200 installations to Moscow. Until now, North Korean troops have only been involved in combat operations in the Kursk region. However, the sudden appearance of Koksan howitzers in Crimea may indicate Russia's plans to deploy North Korean forces directly to Ukraine. The documented presence of Koksan artillery systems on Ukrainian territory is a harbinger of a politically significant escalation. That is, the likely rapid combat deployment of North Korean ground forces in Ukraine, the article says. Earlier, South Korean intelligence reported that the DPRK had sent a new batch of soldiers to Russia. According to intelligence, their number is at least 3,000 people. Of the roughly 11,000 North Korean soldiers sent to Russia, 4,000 were wounded, and it appears that an additional 3,000 or more were sent in January and February, the report says. In addition, according to South Korean intelligence, the DPRK continues to supply Russia with missiles, ammunition, and artillery equipment, including a significant number of short-range ballistic missiles and about 220 units of 170mm self-propelled howitzers and 240mm rocket launchers. In addition, it is emphasized that the DPRK is seeking to improve relations with China, although Pyongyang's main priority remains further strengthening relations with Moscow. Russia is the focus of North Korea's diplomacy, with the regime seeking a full range of exchanges to maximize its troop deployments, South Korea said. At the same time, Forbes reported that the Ukrainian armed forces were effectively destroying North Korea's miracle technology, Koksan, at the front, but North Korea still had large reserves of troops and equipment, including potentially hundreds of additional M1989s. Ukrainians are counter-attacking around Toretsk, and Russian commanders are trying to prevent Ukrainian forces from advancing in the area. But a Russian assault team attempting to attack near Andreevka this week suffered a crushing defeat in a bloody ambush, all because of a shortage of key equipment. As Forbes analyst David Axe writes, although the group had a full complement of armoured vehicles, it apparently did not have enough mine-clearing equipment, which doomed it to failure. As noted in a November article for the US Army Training and Doctrine Command newsletter, Ukraine has surpassed Afghanistan and Syria to become the most mined country on earth. And if Russian mines were the main reason why Ukraine's counter-offensive in the summer of 2023 ultimately stalled, now Ukrainian mines are the main reason why Russian offensives are making only limited progress at an incredible cost. Ukrainian forces seek to anticipate the routes that will be used for attacks each day and to lay anti-personnel and anti-tank mines and prepare fires to engage Russian forces before they engage Ukrainian positions, the study for the Royal United Services Institute in London said. As Axe notes, a Russian assault team with sufficient demining support and time to use it could attack directly through a potential minefield. However, an assault team without such support would have no choice but to anticipate where the Ukrainians expect Russian assault teams to go and choose a different route. This is exactly what happened near Andreevka. Presumably, the invaders did not have enough equipment with mine trawls and they could not move through mined fields, so they moved in a group along one asphalt road, writes Militani. As a result, the assault group, which moved in a tightly packed and predictable manner, became an easy target for Ukrainian drones and cluster munitions. In total, the assault group consisted of about 2 platoons of troops and equipment, according to the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, and at least 1 platoon was destroyed. Ukrainian intelligence counted 7 destroyed and 5 damaged vehicles, as well as 18 killed and 7 wounded Russians. As reported, recently the media and experts have been spreading the opinion that Russia is preparing a new large-scale offensive. Russian forces are expanding their foothold northeast of Liman as part of a mutually reinforcing effort to create conditions for the capture of Borovaya and Liman in the coming months, according to analysts at the Institute for the Study of War (ISW). At the same time, Major General of the Ukrainian Armed Forces Reserve Sergei Krivonos stated that the Russians do not have enough forces to conduct an offensive along the entire front line, but they will nevertheless begin a certain feeling out around mid-April.